Welcome back to About That, eh? Where we break down financial topics faster than a beaver through balsa wood. Today, let's talk about small business and bankruptcy.
I'm sorry, Ray. We got no choice.
I'm Doug Hoyes, and today we're diving into a topic that's about as fun as winter in Winnipeg.
She'll see it later, honey. Her eyes are frozen.
Bankruptcy for small businesses in Canada. Let's face it, running a small business in Canada is tougher than convincing a moose to parallel park. Is that enough of the bad Canadian jokes? Probably, but I'll sneak in a few more later. But now let's get down to the business of bankruptcy. According to Statistics Canada, many tens of thousands of businesses close their doors every year. When a business has more debt than it's worth, and you can't pay that debt, business owners have 5 choices. Try to save the business, perhaps by investing more money to keep it going. That's not an option if you don't have more money. Sell the business to someone else, probably someone with more money. Close the business, file a corporate bankruptcy, or file a personal bankruptcy. If your business is incorporated, meaning the business name ends with Inc. or Limited, the business could file a corporate bankruptcy. A corporate bankruptcy is a somewhat complicated legal process, so it costs money, which may not be an option if the reason your business is in financial trouble is because it doesn't have any money. That's why many businesses just close without going bankrupt. Remember how I said a massive number of businesses closed their doors last year? Far less than 10,000 of them actually went bankrupt. Most of them just shut down. That's one of the main reasons you incorporate a business. It's a separate legal entity, so when the business dies, the debts die with it. But there's a catch. What if you have personally guaranteed the business debts? If you start a corporation and go to the bank and ask for a loan, they'll say, sure, we'll give your corporation a loan, but because the corporation is brand new and has no track record, we'll only give you the loan if you also personally guarantee it. So closing the business doesn't help if you're still liable for the debts. And if your business isn't incorporated, you are what is called a sole proprietorship. You and your business are basically financial twins, joined at the wallet.
Twins.
When you have a corporation, but you've guaranteed the debts, or if you're a sole proprietor and you can't pay the debts, guess who creditors come after? Yep, you. It's like telling your friends you'll pick up the entire dinner tab and then realizing you left your wallet at home.
Oops.
Except instead of friends, it's banks and suppliers. And instead of dinner, it could potentially be tens of thousands of dollars. So one of your options is to file personal bankruptcy. Personal bankruptcy means some of your personal assets may get seized to cover the cost of your debts. Things like a car worth over a certain amount, investment contributions, and maybe a house if it's worth more than what's owing on the mortgage. Your credit score takes a hit, but you'll have gained legal protection from your creditors, and you will have duties to fulfill during the bankruptcy, like reporting income to your trustee each month, making payments based on that income, and attending 2 credit counseling sessions. Now, if you've incorporated your business, there's a bit more protection. Incorporation creates a separate legal entity, which means there's a financial air gap between you and your business. It's like building a financial igloo. Your business assets might freeze, but you can stay somewhat warm inside. When an incorporated business goes bankrupt, the corporation's assets get liquidated, the business debts generally stay with the business, and your personal assets are usually protected. I said usually because there are exceptions bigger than a Canadian pothole in the spring. Even with incorporation, there are 2 obvious circumstances where you are still personally liable for corporate debts. Personal guarantees, if you sign personal guarantees for business loans, you're still on the hook, and director's liability. As a director, you could be personally responsible for unpaid employee wages and government remittances like source deductions and HST. Now, before you throw in the towel, there are alternatives to consider. In the case of personal business debts, whether because of personal guarantees or just because the business was never incorporated, a consumer proposal might be a good solution. A consumer proposal is where you offer to pay creditors a percentage of what you owe, like negotiating at a yard sale, but with your financial future. And, like bankruptcy, this requires the help of a licensed insolvency trustee. Your credit score will take a hit, and you will have payments to make each month. You'll also be given protection from creditors. That means no garnished wages, collection calls, and you'll pay back hopefully less than the full amount you owe. There are many forms of corporate insolvency in Canada, including bankruptcy, a Division 1 proposal, or a CCAA filing for large businesses, but you'll need to contact an expert for details on how those options work. If your business is heading south faster than Canadian snowbirds in November, here's what to do. Talk to a licensed insolvency trustee. We're financial doctors who diagnose before we prescribe. Gather all of your financial documents, including details on all of your debts. Be honest about your situation. Lying about finances is like using a hockey stick to shovel snow. It doesn't really work, and things are going to get worse as you go. If you have any, consider your employees. They're counting on you. Starting over after bankruptcy isn't the end of the world. Filing bankruptcy is as Canadian as apologizing when someone else bumps into you. Many successful entrepreneurs have bounced back stronger than a hockey puck off the board.
I can only say that and that's about the only thing that has been going wrong at this point.
Remember, the difference between a setback and a comeback is how you play the next period. So about that, bankruptcy might feel like financial winter, but spring always comes, even in Canada. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and subscribe for more financial know-how. And I'll see you next time when we tackle the history of the credit card.